Welcome to CBN4's Primetime News. I am your presenter, Sheena Harry. Off in the news, the government of Dominica has engaged former Minister for Social Services and Gender Affairs, Gloria Shillingford, to carry out investigations on the cause of dropouts among students. The Minister for Education and Human Resource Development, Peter Seja, made that announcement during his address at the Dominica Association of Teachers' 13th Biennial Conference.
Advise and inform that against the serious challenges that confront us within the classroom and the wider community, and of course we within the Ministry of Education and government being quite aware of the multiplicity of social issues which may result from an increased number of students who drop out from the school system. The government of the Commonwealth of Dominica has engaged Mrs. Gloria Shillingford to investigate the causes of dropout among our students and to make recommendations to the Ministry of Education in dealing with this problem which affects every one of us in the Dominican society.
Minister Seja added that in the coming months, the Ministry of Education will also address a number of issues which impact personally on the performance of teachers and officers within the Ministry of Education. And the DAT president has been elected 15 times over. Here's Shanna Esprit to explain.
Yes, Sheena, the principal of the Dominica Community High School, Celia Nicholas, has been re-elected as president of the Dominica Association of Teachers. She was re-elected unopposed at the association's 13th Biennial Conference held at the St. Alphonsus Parish Hall in Goodwill on Wednesday, March 30th, 2015. Nicholas has been the association's president since 2000, marking a 15-year success. The other elected members of the DAT are as follows. First Vice President Julian Benjamin. Second Vice President Royet Riley. Moving up, Assistant Treasurer. General Secretary Francis John Lewis. Assistant General Secretary Vanya Martin. Treasurer Jerry Copel. Assistant Treasurer Mervyn Alexander, who is a new member joining the team. Public Relations Officer PRO Juanita Carbon, and two trustees in the persons of Rosamond Roll and Marcus Blondell were also appointed.
The Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture has launched a competition entitled Climate Smart Agriculture: Stories from Farmers in the Eastern Caribbean States. This initiative, which seeks to identify successful cases of climate-smart practices, is sponsored by ICA and the Ministries of Agriculture in various Caribbean countries. Technical Officer in the Division of Agriculture and Fisheries, Winston McGlaw, stated that due to the prevalence of climate change in society, a number of interventions should be adopted and aimed at mitigating the impacts of climate change.
This is a novel way, I believe, that ICA has come up with to engage stakeholders that are involved in agricultural countries in looking at best practice across the region, which can be replicated in other countries. This competition in effect seeks to harness these best practices in the form of stories which can be told across the region and of course can be adopted by our farmers and fishers as the case may be. So we think this is a very significant effort on the part of ICA to address climate change among its many strategies.
Representative Kent Coppell says the competition focuses on farm technologies and practices that respond to climate change, risk, and impacts.
Competition aims at identifying successful cases of innovative and replicable agricultural technologies or practices that contributes to farmers' resilience and adaptation to climate change, making the agricultural sector more climate smart in the ECS. The objective of this regional competition is to document and disseminate successful stories on the implementation of technologies and practices that are contributing to climate smart agriculture, then raise awareness and promote these technologies and practices in the Caribbean. In terms of eligibility, the contest is open to the Eastern Caribbean states, which include Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Grenada, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, and St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It is open to any organization or organized group working in agriculture in the ECS.
The competition is open to public or private organizations that are able to document the cases and are interested in more broadly disseminating their experiences. Government entities, international organizations, either non-profit or for-profit, and their employees are not eligible to participate in the competition. However, they can encourage the organizations that they support to document and submit their stories. Coppell added that the competition has already begun and participants can submit their stories until the deadline, which is May 27th at 12 p.m.
Organized groups can submit more than one story. Each must be written in English and submitted using the online form designed by ICA. Submission guidelines, criteria, and awards will be posted on our webpage or will be available from our local office. Our contact information in terms of our webpage is www.iica.int, and you click on the country Dominica, or you could email us at ica.dm@ica.int. Our telephone number is 448-4502 or 285-4502.
An expert jury will evaluate all of those submissions. The winners will be announced by the middle of the year on national radio and television stations and will also be published on the website, and the Ministry of Agriculture of each country will also publish on their websites. The first place winner and runner-up will be awarded with a professional documentary about their story as well as a publication, and will be able to participate in an awards ceremony in their home country. The winners will also receive an all-expenses-paid trip to the regional awards ceremony that will be held in St. Lucia in early August. Additional national-level prizes being provided by generous partners will also be awarded to the top stories from each country. Also making the news headlines, Dominica is making strides in the world of technology by implementing systems that could enhance communication. A database to store and access drivers and vehicle insurance information was recently launched. The Drivers and Automobile Information System was funded by the Canadian government at about $25,000, and that was launched at the police headquarters. The initiative is a collaborative effort between the Information and Communication Technology Unit of the Ministry of Information, Science and Technology and the Ministry of Justice, Immigration and National Security. The implementation of this information system allows traffic officers to perform random checks on vehicles. In addition to this, mass license plates of vehicles can be queried at any time, and this will in turn discourage drivers from driving unlicensed vehicles, uninsured vehicles, or using expired driver's licenses. Minister for Information, Science, Technology and Telecommunication, Kelva Daru, says that this new application represents the newest addition to the government's program, which commenced back in 2009 and aims at improving the quality and timeliness of service delivery to citizens and businesses alike.
Expanding growth of mobile technology, e-government now delivers far more than just web-based solutions. One of the applications which we are now launching forms part of a thriving industry which utilizes computer-based programs designed to run on mobile devices such as tablets and smartphones. The government of Dominica, through the Information and Communication Technology Unit, is beginning to leverage mobile applications to further engage citizens to understand and have access to important information and initiatives.
Meantime, Minister for Justice, Immigration and National Security Reuben Blackmore expressed his satisfaction in partnering with the Information and Technology Unit in launching this initiative and stated that this system will lead to the country's transformation.
Information age. Government is therefore obligated by way of its administration and provision of services to make the requisite changes. Our approach, therefore, cannot be grounded in the past.
Blackmore added that this system is taking the traffic department to a different level. First Domestic, Nagico, New India and Lloyd's Insurance companies, who partnered with government for the establishment of that database, also donated tablets to the police officers. In the news, a group of 80 individuals from various fields associated with healthcare were in attendance to kick off the Helping Babies Breathe workshop. According to coordinator Etheldra James, the program is a joint effort to address a need during the deliveries of babies.
As of yesterday, we began a Help Baby Breathe workshop, which is being conducted by the California School of Medicine. The program is basically in collaboration with the Dominica State College Faculty of Health Sciences and the Association of Dominica Midwives.
The program is aimed at midwives, birthing attendants, and even first responders who sometimes have to facilitate a delivery when a mother cannot make it to the hospital in time. Dr. McMullen, who is the primary facilitator of that workshop, explains what the participants will learn.
Class, we're learning the basic principles of helping babies breathe when they're born if they are not breathing. And a lot of babies need just a little bit of help to breathe and then they do fine.
McMullen stated that these skills will be applied in hospitals, clinics, or even on buses, since babies can be delivered in unexpected places. He's hoping that this training will help reduce the deaths of babies soon after birth due to respiratory problems. A joint effort between the Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture and the OECS Commission has brought training in good agricultural practice auditing to Dominica. The collaboration targets extension officers with the Ministry of Agriculture as well as private sector stakeholders to help them better understand and implement good agricultural practices through classroom sessions and the practical exercise of auditing a selected farm. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture, Harold Geest, says that the need for gap auditing is even more crucial with the increased demand for quality fresh produce and wholesome food.
This increased demand and consumption occurs especially where consumers are increasingly enlightened on health issues and standards and safe food, and where government seeks to protect its citizens from negligent actions at the farm gate or along the market chain.
Geest emphasized the importance of sound guidelines at production sites, but also throughout the entire process, including distribution.
Practices, with its guidelines and protocols, provide for an efficient way of doing business, involving all players at the production site, from gate, that is the farm gate, to your plate, that is the person who actually consumes the product.
According to Geest, it is the responsibility of all those involved, including farmers, to protect visitors, locals, and even pets from the chemicals and pathogens that may harm them. He He asserts that the government of Dominica will offer continued financial, technical, and educational support to the various stakeholders. A travel advisory which was recently issued for Dominica by the Centers for Disease Control in the United States after the island confirmed its first case of the mosquito-borne Zika virus has raised concerns. Here's Shana Esprit.
Tourism Minister Robert Tong said there is no need for alarm with regards to the effect of the advisory on the local tourism industry. Tong added that the advisory did not have major impacts on other tourism destinations within the Caribbean. Nevertheless, steps need to be taken to continue to ensure that the virus is contained. I'm not very concerned on the basis that throughout the world, the Zika virus has had very minimal impact on tourist arrivals in the respective countries, he stated. Tong commended Dominica for taking proactive measures in reducing the chances of the Zika by reducing the breeding areas, cleaning, fogging, and also misting. The minister also challenged individuals to be responsible for eliminating mosquito breeding grounds in an effort to curb the increase of the mosquito. Thus minimizing the likelihood for the spread of the Zika virus. But the real importance is going to be on us as individuals to ensure that our homes or offices will reduce the breeding areas for those mosquitoes as much as possible, Tong stated. We all have to do our part to reduce the breeding of mosquitoes. If you cut off the breeding areas, then you have no mosquitoes to deal with. Dominica announced its first confirmed case of the disease on March 15, 2016, and health officials said there was no need for alarm. Shana Esprit, CBN 4 News.
And also in the news, a motor vehicle collision that occurred in Lapland is being investigated by members of the Dominica Police Force. According to Police Public Relations Officer Pelham John Baptist, a Mitsubishi Lancer being driven by Frank Girodel of Lapland hit a parked dump truck operated by Elmsworth Joseph of Dalyseas. And John Baptist stated that the occupants of the Mitsubishi vehicle all reported injuries and were taken to the hospital where they were treated and released. The investigation remains open. And that takes us to the end of the Primetime News for this evening. I am your presenter once again, Sheena Harry. Don't forget, you can check us out on our website. It's cbn4.com.